Good morning and welcome to this week's end of summer term Headmasters blog. It's Friday the 8th of July. I'd like to start off by paying tribute to my fantastic school community here at Kingswood House. Boys, girls, teaching and support staff, parents and trustees have all played their part in ensuring that this summer has been a busy and successful term on the back of a very historic year for the school as we've embraced co-education. I'd expect nothing less from my team. And fantastic to have the loyalty and support of all of you as we move forward and build upon a very successful platform for the future. On that note, I am absolutely thrilled that we've been shortlisted for a prestigious Independent School of the Year Award 2022 for our contribution to social mobility. This is an incredibly important aspect of schooling in the independent sector. We have a holistic duty, a moral imperative, if you like, to try and open our doors and make sure that families and children are able to access this ilk of education, and we do that by means of a generous bursary scheme and, of course, our study centre, which means that boys and girls can access a level of care, support and extension that they would not otherwise be able to do. So I'm very proud of that. And we look forward to hearing if we've made it into the finals, which we will find out about in September. Now, transporting you back to Monday night, we had a super prize giving up at Epsom College. It was, in keeping with Kingswood House values, a very inclusive evening where we recognised the endeavours, the citizenship and the attainments of lots of boys and girls, but we still did it in an inclusive way as a meritocracy. And I was really pleased to hear so many positive comments after the event. I think a real showcase of all that is good about Kingswood House. We all came together. We're pleased for those people who were awarded certificates or prizes or cups or books. And of course, many more followed in our assembly, which was held at Christchurch yesterday, which I'll talk a little bit more in a moment. But a very, very successful prize-giving evening. Hopefully you've all been able to access your paperless reports. We were very pleased to be able to achieve that for the first time this term. So a big thank you to Mr. March, Mr. Sickday and Mrs. Webb in particular, who have worked very hard behind the scenes to make that possible. All of your reports should have been posted online in your parent portal via Engage. So hopefully there have been very few teething problems in that process. And of course we can build upon that and evolve it. I think certainly in terms of our parent evenings, for example, moving forward. So that is all very positive too. We had lovely drinks with our Year 11 students and their parents on Wednesday. A real opportunity to reminisce with staff past and present about all of their favourite memories over their time at Kingswood House. And we were thrilled to receive a personalised bench from that cohort, which now sits with great pride outside the Peter Brooks building. Thank you very much for your generosity, and even without the bench, I can assure you that this group of boys will live long in the memory, and we wish them well for their future. At the time of speaking to you, we have a lot of excited boys and girls. We are having jollies this morning, and hence why we are all in mufti, because it's going to be a very busy and fun, action-packed morning. I believe I'm doing a stint in goal at some point for a penalty shootout, so I look forward to that. But it should be a really great way to round off the term. We also have lots of boys and girls welcoming in their grandparents to the school, and we are very much aware that grandparents are often very staunch and ardent supporters of our school. So we look forward to welcoming, I think, about 40 sets of grandparents in this morning. And pleasingly, I put a call in and managed to get some good weather for you. So do make the most of that opportunity whilst you are here. We also had a fantastic assembly up at Christchurch yesterday. We're very grateful, as always, to the Reverend Rosemary Donovan and her team for making us feel so welcome. It was a good opportunity to hand out lots more prizes. So there are plenty of sports awards. We handed out prefects ties. We rounded off the house competition, so a big well done to Drake, who were this term's winners. And of course, we handed out all of our independent project qualification certificates to Year 8s, as well as Duke of Edinburgh awards as well. So a lot to talk about there. And again, yet again, another hour of our time that was spent talking about positively all of the things that are on offer to the pupils here at KHS. And I inspired them to try and have a think over the summer about what more they might wish to get involved in for those who are coming back next term, and indeed for those moving elsewhere, to retain that mindset and make sure that they are taking advantage of everything on offer to them. Right, I'm going to now read out the final messages and dispatches for this term. Well done to everybody in reception for all of their efforts and sportsmanship in Sports Day from Mr. Clerk. Well done to Aidan Currenbix for working hard, and Katie Lowe for all of her music at prize giving. Well done to everybody in years 2 and 3 for all their enthusiasm in French from Madame Swift. Kieran Pantlin and Jamie Chatfield displayed superb behaviour on the school sleepover, says Miss Smith. Harry Roberts, great resilience on the trip last week, says Miss Forbes. Phoebe Folland stepping out of her comfort zone, and all of year 5 have been commended by Miss Summers and Miss Forbes for their good representation of values whilst around their residential. Well done to 6L for representing the school well at PGL, and in particular Dylan Bishop and Eddie Bishop for their great focus for Mr. Barrett in science. 6S have coped well with their residential and joined in all the activities, even those afraid of heights. George Eddington, a really good enthusiasm recently for all school events, but also managed to keep a good element of self-control. Henry Ruskay and Dylan Newman, both boys are delighted to become prefects next year. Kieran Schmitz, Jack Guiney and Dylan Newman bought dog food and water for a homeless man in Bath during the residential, a real show of integrity and endeavour, says Miss Patel. And year 7 were generally great on the residential last night. Stan Brockett Deakins and Kishan bought some lunch for a homeless person. Harrison West was polite to members of the public, very visibly making their day. Really good to hear, says Mr. Clark. Dylan Bishop stayed behind to tidy up someone else's mess on the minibus last week, says Miss Foster. Noah Seeger has been supportive and encouraging to his peers. Ty Bobo assisting other people at Go 8 when they were busy clearing up. And in general, Miss Foster would like to say a big thank you to all of 8F. They've been a great form group. And Enzo Reed's been singled out by Mr. Lordy for being polite and courteous. Avanish Gunjal felt he was letting his team down in paintballing, took some deep breaths and then got stuck in and helped them out. Well done, Avanish. Zach Moffat being particularly good at standing up and showing respect when a member of staff enters the room, says Madame. John Mukarati caught being good by a member of the Go 8 staff team. The instructor mentioned how Joel was listening well all day and looking out for others. And well done, Josh Isles, for sending a very nice email of thanks after their week of trips. Archie Spick has developed his confidence over the years, says Mrs. Bray, and really growing in dedication to his work. Well done to Zach for a great week in history. I'm assuming this is Zach Allibone. He's produced some great prep, been very focused, says Mrs. Hornstetter, and Yassine Khan has done very well with his English for Mr. March. Dan Pepper broke the school record at Senior Sports Day in high jump, reports Mr. Hendry, and Henry Sweetman also showed great endeavour. Charlie Leonard came in voluntarily to help her tidy up on Sports Day, reports Madame Taylor, and Oscar Davino really working hard on English for Mrs. Bray. Mrs. Hornstetter covered a Year 10 music lesson this week, and she was really blown away hearing Asian Lee play the piano. So talented. Theo Venslar-Pelly was looking for a knife at lunch, and then suddenly one appeared in her hand by magic. Theo had heard Madame muttering and found her a knife in a flash. Well done to Theo. Maybe you've got a career ahead of you in a restaurant. Will Hamilton, dedication and hard work in classics through the term for Mrs. Weston. Tyrrell Byrne, Archie Eperon, Barney Hill, Nicholas Hill, Ted Hartley, Ted Reed for their dedication to the Silver Duke of Edinburgh programme. Ms. Patel is really pleased with all of you. And Chris Hawksley has finished his Bronze Duke of Edinburgh, as has Pete Duncan. Well done to all of the Year 11 students in general for their excellent representation at prize giving. They were courteous and respectful, very good role models for the younger boys and girls. We had a super evening, as I've already said, at the Leavers Drinks, and it remains really only for us to see you at Results Day in August. So I'd just like to finish off by wishing all of the boys, girls and staff who are moving on to Pastures New the very best for the future. Please stay in touch with us, and I'd like to finish with these closing words that I also used in the assembly yesterday. May the road rise to meet you, may the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. I wish all of you a wonderful summer holiday, and we look forward to welcoming back all the boys and girls together with a very talented staff team at the beginning of September.